So today we are going to discuss JEE Main Shift 2 September 2nd paper discussions. A rod is heated from 0 to 10 degrees centigrade. Its length is changed by 0.02%. By what percent change in mass density? So we know that alpha is equal to delta L by L into delta T. Delta L by L into delta T. Here in this question, what they given, delta L by L is equal to 0.02%. That is equal 0.02 divided by 100. That is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Delta T is equal to how much increase in temperature from 0 to 10? That means 10 degrees centigrade. First we find out alpha value. So alpha is equal to delta L by L is equal to how much? 2 into 10 to the power of minus 4 divided by delta T 10. That is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of minus 5 per degree centigrade. We know that gamma is equal to 3 alpha, quotient of volume expansion of a solid. Gamma is equal to 3 alpha, that is equal to 3 into 2 into 10 power minus 5, that is equal to 6 into 10 to the power of minus 5. And also here gamma is equal to delta V by V into delta T. Now delta V by V is equal to what we write here, gamma into delta T, percentage change in volume. So here delta V by V is equal to, what is gamma here? 6 into 10 to the power of minus 5. And what is delta T here? 10. That is equal to 6 into 10 to the power of minus 4. So we know that density is equal to mass by volume. Density is equal to mass by volume. So here mass is constant. Now we write as delta rho by rho is equal to minus delta V by V. So delta rho by rho into 100 is equal to minus delta V by V into 100. So that is equal here, delta V by V is equal to how much? 6 into 10 to the power of minus 4. 6 into 10 power minus 4 into 10 square. That is equal to 6 into 10 to the power of minus 2. That is equal to minus 0.06. That means when the volume is increases, density is decreases. Here minus sign indicates density is decreases as volume is increases. So our correct option is 0.06. So now let us solve another question. Find the magnetic moment in the following figure. So in this figure there are two loops. The two loops are arranged like this. Okay, now we want to find out the magnetic moment of this loops. Split this loop into two individual loops such that the current is flowing in the upper loop is along this direction clockwise, and the current flowing in the lower loop is along this direction, A, B, C, D. Now imagine that the loop is placed like this. Okay, right. Now how can you find out the magnetic moment? What is the formula for magnetic moment of a loop? NIAB. N is nothing but number of turns. Okay, I is the current flowing through the loop. So AB means, that means area of the rectangular loop, NIA, right. So now we want to find out the magnetic moment of DEFA loop. Okay, DEFA loop. That means let us assume this loop. So the current is along this direction. Now curl fingers along this direction. Now this is negative x-axis. Thumb indicates towards negative x-axis. So thumb indicates towards negative x-axis. So magnetic moment M1 is equal to how much? I. AB. AB means area of the loop. This is the rectangular loop, length into breadth. Thumb pointing towards negative x-axis. The unit vector along negative x-axis minus I cap. Minus I cap. Just like that. Minus I cap. Now take ABCD loop. That means this loop. Okay. Now current is flowing along this direction. A, B, C, D. This is clockwise. Thumb is pointing vertically downward. That is negative y-axis. So magnetic moment of ABCD loop M2 is equal to IAB minus J. Unit vector along y-axis. The total magnetic moment M is equal to M1 plus M2. That is equal to IAB into minus I minus J. So second option is correct. IAB into minus I minus J. So this is the solution of this question. Let us discuss another question. E bar and B bar in an electromagnetic wave oscillate along direction having unit vectors k cap and I minus j. In electromagnetic wave, we know that there is a electric field vector and a magnetic field vector. They are oscillate along the directions of unit vectors k cap and I minus j. Find the unit vector along the direction of propagation of wave. See, this is if this is electric field vector and this is magnetic field vector, the wave is propagated perpendicular to both E bar and B bar along this direction. This is the direction of propagation of wave. Okay. So that means here along wave propagation E bar cross B bar is exist. This E bar cross B bar is parallel to the direction of propagation of electromagnetic wave. Now we want to find out what unit vector along the direction of propagation of electromagnetic wave. So here unit vector along direction of propagation of EM wave is equal to E bar cross mod E bar cross B bar divided by mod E bar cross B bar. So this is the unit vector. The direction of propagation of electromagnetic wave is always perpendicular to both E bar vector and B bar vector. So this is E bar cross B bar direction. Now here what they given? So here E bar is equal to, they given k cap, B bar is equal to, they given I minus j. Okay. Now E bar cross B bar is equal to, what we write here? K cap cross I minus j. So in cross part already we learned in first year. K cross I is equal to j. K cross I is equal to j minus k cross j. That means that is not in symmetry. K cross j, that is equal to minus I. So here I j k. I cross j is equal to k. J cross k is equal to I. K cross I is equal to j. If we miss order, so then negative sign occurs. Here k cross j disorder. So we write minus I. So minus into minus plus j plus I, that is equal to I plus j. This is the E bar cross B bar vector. Now substitute this value in this equation. Unit vector along the direction of propagation of wave is equal to E bar cross B bar by mod E bar cross B bar, that is equal to I plus j divided by, what is the modulus of I plus j? Root 2, square root of 1 square plus 1 square. So our option is I plus j divided by root 2. That is the correct option for this problem. So now let us discuss another question. This type of question is asked in shift 1 also from units and dimensions chapter. If area A, time t and momentum p is assumed as fundamental quantities, then what is the dimensional formula for energy? So we write here energy is equal to a to the power of a, t to the power of b, p to the power of c. Right, what is the dimensional formula for energy? ml square t power minus 2 is equal to, what is the dimensional formula for area? L square whole power a. This is the time, t to the power of b. What is the dimensional formula for momentum? Momentum is equal to mass into velocity, that is equal to ml t power minus 1 whole power c. Both sides compares a powers, b, t powers, l powers and also m powers. Now we compare first m powers. M power n is equal to m power c. M power 1 is equal to m power c, both sides. So that is equal, c is equal to 1. C is equal to 1. Next we compare L powers. L to the power of 2 is equal to L to the power of 2a plus c. So here 2 is equal to 2a. What is the value of c here? 1. 2a is equal to 1. A is equal to 1 by 2. Next we compare t powers. T to the power of 2 is equal to, t to the power of minus 2 is equal to t power b minus c. T power b minus c. Here minus 2 is equal to, what is the value of b? We don't know. B minus c value 1. So b is equal to minus 2 plus 1, that is equal to minus 1. Minus 1. So our option is energy dimension formula. Substitute these values in this equation. A power, what is the value of a? 1 by 2. T power, what is the value of b? Minus 1. P power 1. So this is the answer of this question. Okay, let us solve next question. In hydrogen atom, electron jumps from n plus 1 state to nth state. The frequency of emitted photon is directly proportional to which of the following option? Here n is greater than 1. So we know that whenever electron jumps from higher orbit to lower orbit, it loses some energy. That loss in energy appear as a photon of energy. Okay, let us solve next question. In hydrogen atom, electron jumps from n plus 1 state to nth state. The frequency of emitted photon is directly proportional to which of the following option? Here n is greater than 1. So we know that whenever electron jumps from higher orbit to lower orbit, it loses some energy. That loss in energy appear as a photon of energy. So E is equal to E2 minus E1. That is equal h nu is equal to E2 minus E1. So, when the electron is in nth orbit, what is the energy in that orbit? En is equal to, we know that formula, minus RhC by n square. When the electron is in n plus 1 orbit, the energy stored in that orbit for electron minus RhC by n plus 1 whole square. So, here h nu is equal to, so En plus 1 minus E1, En. So, h nu is equal to, here En plus 1 minus RhC by n plus 1 whole square minus of minus plus RhC by n square. So, take the common RhC. What we get here? 1 by n square minus 1 by n plus 1 whole square. Okay? Right. H nu is equal to, what we write here? RhC. RhC. H nu is equal to into n plus 1 whole square minus n square divided by n square into n plus 1 whole square. Right here h cancel, mu is equal to n plus 1 whole square minus n square, that is equal to here 2n plus 1, 2n plus 1. Okay. Here n square into n plus 1 whole square. Here what they given, n is greater than 1. That means 1 is neglected compared to n. That means here n square into n square. That 1 is neglected. Here in the numerator also that 1 is neglected. Mu is equal to, here RC into 2n divided by n to the power of 4. So, mu is proportional to, inversely proportional to n cube. Mu is inversely proportional to n cube. Okay. So, our option is mu is inversely proportional to n cube. Here n is greater than 1. By comparing n with compared to n, 1 is neglected. So, here mu is equal to RC into 2n by n to the power of 4. This n is cancelled in n cube times. So, frequency is inversely proportional to 1 by n cube. This is the answer of this question. So, now let us discuss another question. A capillary tube of radius 0.15 millimeters is dipped in a liquid of density rho is equal to 667 kg per meter cube. If surface tension of a liquid is 1 by 20 Newton per meter, find height up to which it raises in a tube. Angle of contact is 60 degrees. So, this is a capillary tube. This capillary tube is dipped into a liquid. This is the liquid. Then liquid raises in a capillary tube up to height h. Here they given the angle of contact is, 60 degrees. Angle of contact is 60 degrees. Then we want to find out how much height the liquid raises in a capillary tube. We know that formula T is equal to HR dz by 2 cos theta, surface tension. Now H is equal to 2T cos theta by RTC. Here what the values are given here? Radius 0.15 millimeters. So R is equal to 0.15 millimeters, that is equal to 0.15 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meters. Density 667 kilogram per meter cube. And also surface tension T is equal to 1 by 20 and G value they given 10. Angle of contact is equal, theta is equal to how much they given, 60 degrees. Now solve this problem. H is equal to 2 into T means 1 by 20, this is cos 60 divided by R 0.15 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into D 667 G10. Right, here H is equal to 2 into 1 by 20 into cos 60 is equal to how much? 1 by 2. 1 by 2 divided by 0.15 into 10 power minus 3 into 667 into 10. Right, here 2 cancel. Now H is equal to here 1 by 20 into 0.15 into 10 to the power of minus 2 into 667. Now this 10 to the power of minus 2 goes numerator, then it becomes 100 divided by, this is 20 into 0.15, that is equal to 20. Here 0.15 10 to the power of minus 3, 667 to 2. So 20 into 0.15, that is equal to 3. So 3 into 667, that is equal to 100 by, this is 2000, 0 cancel, 1 by 20, that is equal to 0.05 meters. So our option is, correct option is fourth option. So next question, in potentiometer circuit 1.02 volts is balanced at 51 centimeters from A. Find the potential gradient of wire AB. So this is a potentiometer circuit, this is a primary circuit, and this is a secondary circuit. So the voltage of a cell in the secondary circuit is 1.02 volts, and this is balanced by 51 centimeters of potentiometer wire. Now they ask find the potential gradient of wire AB. So this is the easy problem. Potential gradient is equal to potential gradient is equal potential drop per unit length. Potential drop per unit length. So V by L. So potential drop per unit length means here 1.02 divided by this length from A to C, that is equal to 51 centimeters. 51 centimeters. So here by solving this problem we get potential gradient. So 1.02 divided by 51, that means answer is 0.02 volt per centimeter. So our answer is this 0.02 volt per centimeter. A closed box containing idle gas, if temperature of a gas increased, then which of the following are correct? Now mean free path remains same, mean free path decreases, relaxation time decreases, relaxation time remains same. You have to choose which option is correct. So we know that a mean free path is equal to lambda is equal to mean free path lambda is equal to 1 by root 2 n by v pi d square, where n is total number of molecules, v is volume of the container or volume of the gas, d is diameter of the molecule. Here, when the temperature increases, there is no change in total number of molecules. N is constant. N is constant. Since it is a closed box, volume is constant. Volume is constant. D is constant. Diameter of the molecule. So that lambda, mean free path, also constant. Mean free path also constant. What is mean free path? In gas, there is a collisions between molecules. The gas molecules are moving in random directions. The average distance traveled by the molecule in two successive collisions is called mean free path. That is equal to lambda is equal to constant. Lambda does not change. And also, what about relaxation time? Whenever the temperature increases, the speed of the gas molecules increases, so that the time interval between the collisions, between any two collisions, decreases. So that means what? Relaxation time decreases. Relaxation time decreases. So mean free path remains same and relaxation time decreases. That means this is A, B, C, D. Our answer is, which of the following is correct? A and C are correct. Displacement time graph performing SHM as shown figure. Assume that mean position is at x is equal to 0. This is a graph drawn between the displacement of the particle and time of a particle performing SHM. Here the four options are given. No force is acting on a particle at t is equal to t by 4. Speed is maximum at t is equal to 3t by 4. Acceleration at t is equal to t by 4 maximum. Kinetic energy and potential energy equal at t is equal to t by 8 seconds. Which are correct? So we have to choose which option is correct answer. Let us check. No force is acting on a particle at t is equal to t by 4. So see, observe the graph. At t is equal to t by 4, the particle is at mean position. Whenever the particle is at mean position, there is no force is acting. There is no force is acting on the particle. So this is correct. Speed is maximum at t is equal to 3t by 4. So here at t is equal to 3t by 4, the particle is at mean position from the graph. So at mean position, we know that speed of the particle is maximum. So this is correct. This is also correct. Acceleration at t is equal to t by 4 maximum. So at t is equal to t by 4, the particle is at mean position. At mean position, displacement is 0. So that acceleration 0. But here they given acceleration at t is equal to t by 4 is maximum. That is not possible. This is a wrong statement. Kinetic energy and potential energy equal at t is equal to t by 8 seconds. So kinetic energy and potential energy equal at displacement x is equal to a by root 2. X is equal to a by root 2. Now the particle is starting at the extreme position, so that we write displacement equation x is equal to a cos omega t. X is equal to a cos omega t. Substitute this value, a by root 2 is equal to a cos omega t. A cancel. So here cos omega t is equal to 1 by root 2. Omega t is equal to pi by 4. Omega t is equal to pi by 4. Omega means what we write here, 2 pi by t into t is equal to pi by 4. So t is equal to, here pi cancel, t by 8 seconds. That means this option is correct. So this is A correct, B correct, C is not correct, D also correct. So our option is third option. Which are correct? Option A, option B, option D are correct. Okay.